Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and thank you for joining this collaboration between Nedgroup Investments Engage and Business Day.
I don't get a sense that in Cabinet there is the kind of cohesiveness that we require to actually message properly what the economic growth strategy is. The problem with government isn't so much what they say, it's what they do or don't do. But I'm not going to let business off the hook. Business in South Africa for the last 25 years, what is the famous quote of Einstein? If you keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results, it's the definition of madness. You are all mad. You want the same things with different outcomes. You do not want to think out of the box. You do not want to look at what inclusive growth actually and really mean. You're still in it to skim off the top, and you're not in it for the long haul. I can't imagine any investor investing in any country, for example, where the majority of citizens who live in that country don't actually own the property and the land in that country. And yet, an attempt to try and do that in South Africa scares you, This is a PG-rated panel. But it makes you run for the hills. Outside investors actually understand that people who live in South Africa actually need to have a stake in this country. And that is actually how you build long-term sustainability.
And the last time we had common purpose in this country, we were building stadiums for the 2010 World Cup, and we paraded an extraordinary experience, a world-class experience, because we had common purpose beyond our differences. And so you have to look for points of intersection and common cause. And when you've got that, and when you all, I can remember there was a time when in soccer, the only person who got a bonus was the guy who scored the goal. That's changed. It's the assist that gets the bonus now. It's the person who passes the ball to the guy who's going to score the goal that matters. And I don't think we pass the ball. We don't trust each other. We've got inferiority and superiority complexes all in the same room. And we need to drop that nonsense, man.
And so we are a country at war with ourselves, and we have to call it for what it is. And we do so because each of us, we reduce our focus, our energy, our effort, our resources to protect our narrowest of self-interest. And counterintuitively, when we do that, we ultimately destroy our common interest. And so when you are business, when you are an advisory firm, we had spoke with the registered controlling bodies on Monday, and all of our collapses, our corporate collapses, whether it is Transnet, Seckam, Steinhoff, VBS, happened under our watch. We were there. And we're so busy defending our narrow interest, we didn't see how we are destroying our common interest, our common purpose. And so, my request to those who hold high political office is to stop being in denial about it. Because the more we are in denial about it, we become complicit to its endurance. We give it life, we give it substance, we give it a justification for existence.
We want money to give to the poor, to redistribute, but government can do nothing because they're not collecting any taxes. Why? Because companies are not making money, the economy is not growing, and you taxing the very small pool and that shrinking pool. So for me, the problem is that we've got to diagnose the problem, and the problem for me is the economy. And I just think that government has dubbed itself as the developmental state. We've got to actually unsuitcase that and say, what is a developmental state? But we need a framework where, public sector gets involved, the private sector gets involved, each and everyone plays their role. You talk about the common purpose, I talk about the social compact. We need that social compact.
If you are a trade unionist, you must be able to pull people out from strike. At the appropriate time, you must be able to pull them back. If you can't pull them back, you are not a leader. I'm saying you require a different set of quality of leadership in government, business, and labor to structure. Once you have a common vision, they must be able to structure the necessary compromises that achieve the objectives of growth.
The entire political establishment, as we understand it, both in the governing alliance as well as in the opposition parties, are responsible for the dearth of leadership that we have in the country. There are too many people in South Africa with nothing to live or hope for. We've got 10 million people unemployed, and we've got a private sector and a government that don't know how to talk to each other and to each other. And I think that is the leadership failure on the side of two of the most important social partners